Dear students, in this lesson, in this session, let us revise an inspirational story of Dhirubai Ambani, who became world's second wealthiest man, but started his life as a poor man. So that's how he proved to be a real rags to riches story. His life itself is a fine example for rags to riches story. He was born Dheerajlal Hirachand Ambani in 1932 and later became an Indian successful industrialist and entrepreneur, business tycoon, and the founder of Reliance Industries Limited, the largest private sector company in India then. This man started his company with 50,000 rupees, and by 2007 he became the second wealthiest man in the world. The man who started his life as a poor man selling Bhajias in Gujarat, later on he went on to become the second wealthiest man in the world. Therefore, he is a fine example for rags to riches tale. So he was born in Chorwad, Gujarat. Father was a school teacher. He was one among the 5 children in his family. He was a talented boy interested in market tactics and the way people made money. Therefore, due to his interest in the market and business, he used to skip his school and wander through the markets, observing and trying to understand how people make business and money. At the weekends, he used to sell bhajis to the pilgrims in Mount Girnar, located in Gujarat. After completing his high school education, he left his village for the country Yemen. There, in a place called Aden, he gets some job and tries to make the most of it. So in Aden, he joins A. Bessie and Company. Then it was the largest transnational trading company. He joins A. Bessie and Company and works as gas station attendant and dispatch clerk. Now, at a time he could do 2 jobs, and the knowledge and skill of working in this company helped him later to establish a petrochemical industry in Mumbai later. He was a dedicated worker and keen learner. Due to his hard work and intelligence and skill, he was promoted in the same company as a manager of oil filling station port in Aden. It's here that he learned entrepreneurial skills. ಈ ಉದ್ಯಮಶೀಲತಾ ಕಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. So after working for 10 years in Aden, he returns to homeland, and while he lived there in Aden, he and his wife saved as much as possible, and that amount made up to 50,000, with which they returned to India. He starts the first business and establishes the company in 1950s that dealt with the import and export of spices. Later he expanded the company into textile industry. It involved production, import and export of polyester. Then the polyester was in great demand in Asian markets. So trying his hands at polyester production, import and export, he becomes successful. It also brought him name and profit. Yet with this success, he chose to live a simple life. He lived in a single bedroom flat in Mumbai. And later came his two more feats, accomplishments, that are, one was he set up a textile manufacturing unit in Naroda, Gujarat in 1966, a big milestone in the history of Reliance and Dhirubai Ambani. And next, he also founded Reliance Industries Limited by investing 15,000 rupees in Mumbai. So, uh, this Reliance, worked in the field of oil, gas, and petrochemicals. They also branched out into textiles, retail, telecom, and broadband. Now, for all his ventures, he needed money. When he approached banks, they actually denied giving him more and more loans. Therefore, he got an idea on how to generate money. So, he went into public through public issues, that is, by issuing public stocks in public markets. He started collecting money, generating money for his enterprises. So with that, even public got an opportunity to gain profit, and Dhirubai Ambani got money to establish his business and also make profits. He also raised money for Reliance through equities and debentures. Then he established one more brand, Vimal Textiles and Fabrics. Even I think it has its name in the market, Vimal Cloths. So this brand was launched by Dhirubai Ambani in 1969, and the industry, textile industry, branched out, made name. Another important milestone in this field of textiles is that a team of technical experts from World Bank visited Ambani's textile manufacturing centers in 1975, and they certified these textile manufacturing units as the best, in the sense they had the standards to international level. So with this, Ambani's and Reliance's reputation grew. Through initial public offerings, he started collecting more and more uh, money for his enterprises. There were 58,000 investors for this initiation. With this, Indian stock market witnessed major activity. Reliance became market's favorite in the 1980s, and by the end of 1980s, Reliance had the largest number of shareholders in the world. This was really a big feat to be achieved on the World Financial Forum, at global market fields. Reliance made a big name, and this was not a simple achievement. Ambani, with this, he grew from rags to riches. There are some more milestones in the history of Reliance. It was the first company to raise money in global markets. Not only the Indian market brought him money and profits, but rather even at a global level, people invested. And from selling Bhajias, he went on to the center stage of the world's business. By 2012, it had over 85,000 employees, and the company Reliance accounted for the 5% of India's central government total tax revenue. Reliance was also listed in Fortune 500 list, which was very prestigious. There were also charges that Ambani evaded tax, for which he gave a befitting answer, saying that there are some loopholes or provisions in the law that allow him not to pay the taxes. Unfortunately, he suffered a heart attack in 1986. Therefore, he handed over Reliance Industries Limited to two of his sons named Mukesh and Anil Ambani. So, Reliance was divided into two, that is RIL, Reliance Industries Limited, and then Anil Dhirubai Ambani, ADARIL. So they divided the business empire and took over. Even Vajpayee, then Prime Minister, praised Dhirubai Ambani's achievements, saying he was really an icon in the field of business and industries. So here we can see Dhirubai Ambani with two of his sons. To his right is Mukesh and to his left is Anil Ambani. For his accomplishments, Dhirubai Ambani received a couple of awards. That's one from FICCI, and then 1998 the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, gave him a medal. He was also one of the most powerful and influential people in Asia. And in 2016, Indian government offered him Padma Vibhushana, the second highest civilian award. He always said, think big, think fast, think ahead. Ideas are no one's monopoly. So with these beliefs, anybody can succeed. This is in recap. Go through these points in recap. That's it from this session.